Hi guys, I'm going to talk you through the century drills now. So this is something that you can perhaps do once a week. Yeah, so century drills, you can do them in any order. So we're going to start with our propriostim. So basically, see this is a warm up for the central nervous system. Basically, we start just standing feet hip distance apart. You can, if you want, remember the drills we do in class for mobility, the test, shoulder range movement, your rotation, your forward flexion. Do those first. Use them as a gauge, so you can do those. Do your sensory system exercise, retest, see if it's made a difference. But your propriostim, we're going to start just with the feet hip width apart, and we just literally connect, we just contact the body. So we're going to start with just stroking, so you're massaging the palms of the hands together. Okay, and you can use different techniques. You know, if you're doing this regularly, you might get bored of doing stroking, so you might want to do scratching or tapping, or get a dry brush, something that's giving you a little bit more stimulus, a bit more input. But we're just working the whole surface area of our body. Okay, moving up around your wrist joints. So when we get to the joint, we want to do a little bit of patting. Okay, moving up through your forearms. Anywhere that you've got an old injury, a scar, if you've had an injury, even if it's years and years ago, or a recent injury, as long as it's comfortable to do so, you'd spend a little bit more time. Yeah, just spend a bit more time around that specific area. So, for example, I've got a tiny little scar on my arm, years and years old, but I always just do a bit more work on that space there. Moving up towards the elbows, so a bit of patting around the elbow joints. Okay, and then coming up your upper arms, biceps, triceps, trying to connect all the way around. Coming across your shoulders. So again, do a bit of patting coming across the breastplate, the collarbones, be quite firm. Spend a little bit of time around your breastplate, around your thyroid area. And then we're going to gently start to stroke. So you're using the pads of the fingers, you're stroking around the throat, the neck. Come around the back of the neck, getting the fingers right into the nape of the neck, around the base of the skull. Should feel really lovely to do there. So you can be quite firm here, just massaging. Coming around the back of the ear, so we're gently squeezing or pinching from the earlobes all the way up and then back around. Okay, moving that around the jawline, so the hinge of the jaw. Come across your chin, underneath the chin, around the cheeks, around the mouth, all around the lips. Remember, we've got loads of little nerve receptors in our lips. Give them a bit of a massage. Most concentration of nerve receptors anywhere in the body is the palms of our hands, soles of our feet, and our tongue. So even kind of swallowing, will kind of activate those receptors in the mouth. Okay, so once we've done it all around our cheeks, we're going to come around the eyes, underneath the eyes, temples, give them a little massage, over the top of the eyebrows, coming up through the forehead, massaging all around there. Get your fingers and we're going to work through the head now. So you're kind of massaging your scalp, front to back, trying to connect with the whole scalp. Should feel lovely to do this. It has to release all this connective tissue as well. Remember, tight fascia, a bit like wearing a tight hat, especially if we get dehydrated, it can cause headaches, tension headaches. This should feel quite a lovely thing to do. And then once you've done all around the face, the head, the neck, I'm just going to start to come back around the shoulders. It's a little bit trickier to get to your shoulder blades. However you can reach, whether you come over the top and behind. Okay, walking down your lateral line back around the back of the ribs. Okay, and then the front ribs. Coming up the sternum. Okay, coming around the belly. Hip bones. Again, if we get to hips, we'll be a little bit further. Work around your lower back, around the lumbar spine, on your glutes. Give them a really good massage. Fire them up like we do sometimes in class. Okay, inner thighs, fronts of thighs. And then around the knees, we're going to be a little bit more vigorous. So give them a bit of a pat, good massage, both sides. All around the back of the knee, the inside. Coming down your lower legs, so calves and shins. working around the ankles. So again, ankle joints, so joint mobility gets quite compressed. Give it a good pat, good massage. Feet, get your hands right into the arches, the balls of the feet, around the toenails, fronts of the toes, in between the toes. We really want to connect with every single nerve receptor on the surface of our body as much as we can here. And these are stuffed into shoes, so these receptors tend to get a little bit compressed, a bit switched off. So give your feet a good massage. Should feel just really nice to do it anyway. You know, it's great. It's a nice thing to do. It encourages that circulation. Okay, so doing both sides, working up. A good squeeze, a good massage. Get your fingers around the toes, the toenails, between the toes, ankle joints, and then moving back up your other leg. Okay, and then once you've done all that, any cemetery drill, once you've done a bit of work on it, maybe take a few breaths. So just stand with your eyes closed, hands on the belly, take some really nice deep breaths in. Just feel your body relax. So that's your propriostim. So again, I would recommend doing that maybe once a week, or any time that you just want your body to be feeling a bit more connected, or if you've had any injury or illness, etc. But maybe once a week, once a fortnight. If you find that you get a good response from it, maybe do it every other day for a while. So our second one we're going to come on to, you're going to need some kind of object that you can throw and catch. So whether it's a little bean bag, if you've got something like this, or a juggling board, or if not, a balled up pair of socks or something would do. Just something that's not going to roll away from you, because you don't want to spend the time chasing it around the room. So we're going to do spatial awareness now. This is actually great for relaxation as well, for those of you that find it difficult to switch off. It keeps your brain focused on something quite simple, quite simplistic. You have to just clear your mind a little bit. So we're going to start very simply, sitting comfortably, and you're just going to throw, passing it from hand to hand. So we're just working within our comfort zone at the moment, this little space in front of us, where we're familiar with. It should be fairly simple, just passing from left to right. Okay, close your eyes, take away visual. See if you can keep that movement going. Maybe speed it up a little bit. Okay, and then open your eyes. And we're now going to start to make this a little bit more challenging, so we're throwing a bit higher. Start to throw it up into that space. If that feels okay, you're going to see if you can throw it a little bit higher. So we're just starting to challenge, throwing out of your comfort zone now, kind of working coordination as well involved here. If it's really easy, we're going to start to clap. See if you can do 2. Whoops. See if you can do 3. Maybe 4. No, I'm not going to go for 5 today. And then we're going to come back to our simple throw and catch, but we're going to start to move it outside our comfort zone. So we're coming to the side of the body now. This space around the side of us is a little bit less used. We tend to do everything in front. So just see if we can do that front to back. Changing sides. Okay, and then come back in front, but see if you can do single hand. And the spatial awareness is divided into 4 sections. We've got upper and lower body, so arms and legs, and we've got left and right. And you might find that some people have great upper body spatial awareness, not so good lower body. Some people might have great spatial awareness on one side, but not on the other. So it just has to kind of balance that out. So obviously we're working mainly upper body here. You can do these drills with lower body, where you put objects on the ground when you're standing, little coins or buttons, and you're trying to locate them by tapping them with your toes. So once we've done both sides then, come back, make it simple. Close your eyes. See if you can throw it a little quicker, maybe even carry on doing your single hand. Might just be a tiny movement that you're doing, making it more challenging. Okay, and then you're just going to come back to centre and just relax. So that was just a little simple spatial awareness drill. You can do that maybe once a week or so. Third one that we're going to move into now. So we've done our propriostim, we've done our spatial awareness. We're going to do our eye exercises. So you can do these reclined. I will talk you through them seated, just so you can see the direction. So we're going to do 2, in fact we'll do all 3. We'll do 3 different versions. We're going to do our focal Then we're going to do our peripheral vision, and then we're going to do our eye mobility drills. So your focusing exercise to start with, you're going to start from your recline position, however you feel comfortable, and we're looking directly up at the ceiling. So your gaze is straight ahead. You can do this outside as well. If the weather's nice, you can do it outside, so you're gazing up at the sky. But you're going to start just by taking one finger and extending it up, straight up in front of you. Look at your fingernail, just focus on the fingernail, and then take the focus from the fingernail to the ceiling, back to the fingernail. So we're kind of looking near and far. I'm just going to do that 5 or 6 times, so we're just shifting that focus. So looking from one to the other. Noticing how quick your eyes can adjust and get that sharp focal. Once you've done that 5 or 6 times, we're going to start to bring the finger a little closer towards us, so drop it maybe 4 or 5 inches. Do the same again, so I'm looking fingernail, ceiling, fingernail, back and forth. Okay, and then I'm going to look at the fingernail again. This time I'm going to keep my focus on the fingernail, but I'm going to see how close I can get that to my face before I've lost that sharp focus. So there'll come a certain point where it starts to blur. Yeah, and you might need to play around with this, move it back and forth, but you're trying to find that point where you can still see the fingernail quite clearly. Okay, and then once you've got that point, hold it there, but look, ceiling, fingernail. So you're looking back and forth again, 5 or 6 times. And then looking back at the fingernail, start to take it all the way up. As far away from you as you can reach now. And then do the same again, look from ceiling to fingernail. And then just relax, let your eyes just soften. So gaze is straight ahead. So if you do this outside, you can either just look straight up through to the sky, or you can look at clouds or there's birds flying around, anything that's a longer distance away from you, basically. So the second one we're going to do is peripheral vision. So this is our ability to see things out the corner of our eyes that we're not necessarily looking directly at. So again, carry on looking straight up. Your focus is directed onto the ceiling. That's where we're going to keep staring. Your focus is going to stay forwards, but you're going to extend out your left arm. So at the moment, this arm is within that front range. I can see my arm because it's straight in front of me. I'm keep looking at the ceiling, but I'm going to slowly take my arm and move it out away from me. Wiggle the finger, that will help to, your brain will find that easy to fix on. But see how far you can take that hand before it's gone. There'll be a certain point where it's just gone from your peripheral range. You can no longer detect it there. And you might need to play, move this back and forth. But see if you can find that exact point. No cheating, you're not allowed to tip or tilt your eyes. And then once you've got that, you're going to come back up to centre. So we're changing hands. One side might be a little bit better than the other. So your focus is straight ahead, but we're moving out. Trying to find that exact point where you've no longer got it in that field of vision. It's just gone. And it's quite specific. It might even just be an inch where you've got it or you haven't got it. Try and locate that point. Once you've got it, you're going to come back to centre, and then finally we're going to do vertical. So again, keep looking straight ahead. See how far back you can go before you've lost it. See how far down you can go before you've lost that range. Okay, and then back to centre. Relax. Okay, third, final eye drill then. So we're going to do mobility work now. So this is the movement of the eye muscles that are attached to the eyeball. So the head stays completely still. Start looking directly up. You're going to circle your eyes on the ceiling. Going clockwise to begin with. Just draw a little circle. Start to go around. And make that circle bigger and bigger. You try and look all the way around the room. And then just come back to centre and reverse it. So we're going the other way. Notice whether it feels like it's a smooth circular motion, or does it feel a bit flickery as the eyes are moving around? Can you make it smooth and controlled? Do you feel like you're perhaps cutting off one part of that circle?
Okay, and then once you've gone both ways, you're going to look straight ahead. So we're now going to imagine that we've got a cross in front of us, yeah? So we're looking straight up and down, top to bottom. So you're looking as far back as you can, as far down as you can. Keep the head still. You should feel the muscles of the eyes. You should kind of feel that gentle stretch. We're just taking them through their full range, like we should with all our muscles. We're just trying to find that kind of comfort zone and just push into it a little bit. Our eye muscles, like every other muscle, can get out of balance. They can get tight, shortened. We can get these little issues with them. And like any other movement, it increases circulation, oxygen, healing. Great for keeping the eyes healthy and for getting rid of eye strain if you've been staring at computers or reading or looking at the TV and your eyes are tired. Nighttime driving is what gets me. It really makes my eyes sore. Okay, come back to centre, left and right. So you're looking from one corner of the eye across to the other as far as you can. And you're moving quite smooth with this one, so it doesn't have to be a quick movement. You're kind of moving from one side over to the other side. So find a pace that feels comfortable for you. Once you've gone left to right, we're going to finish with an X. So imagine it diagonal, yeah, X on the ceiling. We're going to start looking at top left point, diagonally down, bottom right, and back across. Okay, back to centre, and then change that diagonal, top right, down to bottom left. And then once you've done that, you can close your eyes, let your eyes relax. If it's comfortable, especially if you're going to go into a bit of a relaxation after this, keep your hand, eyelids are closed, but you're going to gently place your hands over your eyes. Fingers are resting over the forehead. It should feel lovely. What we're trying to do is just encourage the eye muscles or the eyeball to just relax, to sink into the back of the socket. So shrug your shoulders down. Just feel that kind of nice kind of closed, comfortable feeling around the eyes. Also blocks out all the light, so it's great for taking away all that stimulus. And you just hold this, just relax and breathe into it. Okay, so our final sensory drill that we're going to do, there is another one as vestibular drills, but I'd rather not do those on videos, we'll do those in class. But we're going to do just breathing, respiratory and most important sensory systems, constantly giving us input, so breathing exercise is so important to do. Lots of variations, there's hundreds of different breathing exercises you could probably do. I'm just going to show you a few that we do in class. So our simple abdominal breathing, hands on pelvic belly, trying to draw the breath right down, yeah? We don't want to breathe here, we want to feel that this is completely still. If you're not sure, put one hand on the breastplate, don't move it. Movement should come ribs and below. So feel that rise and fall. So we're filling the lungs as we breathe in. Trying to empty the lungs, get rid of all that used breath as you breathe out. Pause, at the end of the exhale, add those pauses in. We want the breath to be big and long and deep and comfortable. We don't want to feel that it's forced. So box breathing, as it's sometimes referred to, you're imagining that you're breathing around the inside of a box. So as we inhale, we go up one side. As we pause, we move along the top of the box. As we exhale, we drop down the other side. As we pause, we move along the bottom. And we're trying to make that box bigger each time, so that box is growing as the breath deepens and slows down. So that's one way that you can look at your breathing, your abdominal breathing. We want to feel that the body is moving to fill and empty the lungs. Other little breathing exercise you can do is your alternate side. So one hand on the ribs, one hand is going to close off the opposite nostril. So I'm breathing just into this side of my body. I'm inhaling fully. Exhale either through the nose or the mouth. And then changing. So you do maybe 6 or 8 breaths on either side. You could link that into relaxing the side of the body. Imagine you're relaxing your left side, imagine you're relaxing your right side. And then we've also got our alternate nostril breathing, where we would do one each nostril alternating. So 2 fingers, thumb alongside one nostril, ring and little finger alongside the other. We take a deep breath in. We gently close, so we pinch the nose shut. I think we're going to close that so you can see. And then when we're ready to exhale, we're going to lift one side. So I'm going to breathe out through my thumb side, through my nostril. Inhale back up, I'm going to close it shut. Changing sides, so I exhale. Inhale, close it shut. So that's all there is to it. You're changing each time, alternating left and right. Exhale, empty the lungs. Inhale, pinch the nose shut, changing side. And you could do that recline, you could do that for a minute or so. Just different exercises that will really allow you to just focus. But sensory drills, they're great for kind of switching off. They can make you feel quite a lot different as well. They can be quite effective on the body. So do your sensory drills once a week or so as well. Thanks, guys. Now let's go.